from Fun Hands-On Learning. And before we get into today's video, I wanted to share with you why it's been about 2 weeks since I've been able to upload a video. So the reason is because we are still doing a bunch of renovations in our house here, and we were painting our entire kitchen, living room, dining room, school room area. And so I had to move my cabinets, and my cabinets have all of my school stuff in them, and so we had to move all of the stuff out of the cabinets and put them into another room for a while, and so I didn't really have access to my things so I could show you the activities. So that is why it's been a while, and we just finished painting this area, and I've been able to put some of my things back and get access to them again. And so now I'm going to do a video for you today on some hands-on preschool alphabet activities that you can do. They are for fine motor and for learning how to write your alphabet, and you can also practice alphabet sounds and things like that with them. So I'm excited to show them to you today, and I hope you will stick with me and watch. And if you're new here, my name is Amanda, and I do videos on education and learning through hands-on ways for ages preschool through right now I'm doing it through about 2nd grade. So I am a homeschool mom with 7 kids. I'm a former elementary school teacher, and I thank you for joining us, and I hope you'll stay. All right, let's get into the video. Hi friends! So I'm here today to show you some alphabet activities that work on fine motor skills, and you can also use them to teach handwriting, teaching kids how to format and form the letters, and then you can also use them to obviously teach the letter names and sounds. So I have lots of them here to show you today, lots of different ones. And what I did is I took each set of alphabet activities and I put them in the plastic sleeves that you might see in a 3-ring binder. I put 2 in a sleeve, so I have like A on the front and then B on the back, and then I attached them with a book ring. These are just like they open and close, so you can attach them and detach them, and then that way the kids can flip through them and use whichever ones they want. And it's just easier. It was easier than laminating all of them, first of all, because that would have taken a lot of lamination. And so I just felt like it was a little bit cheaper to do it this way. And then they can be connected here with this ring and easily flip through. So today I'm going to show you, the first one I'm going to show you is this one. This is, now I'm going to move these ones out of the way, and I have a whole stack here of different ones to show you. This one is the pattern block fine motor activity. So for these alphabet activity mats, you need pattern blocks. This is the set that I have. You don't have to have the same set, but this set I got off of Amazon, and it's from the company Learning Resources. All right, so basically what the kids do is they take the pattern blocks and they fill in their mat to do upper and lowercase letters. And as they're doing this, I have over here on this side, I have a picture of a picture that represents the letter. So G is for goat, goat. We have capital G and lowercase g, and then they fill them in with their pattern blocks, just like so. Now, something you can do with all of these activities is you can, if you have access to, here, let me try to fix my camera here in a minute, because I have a little one over here trying to touch things. My 2-year-old's over here trying to touch things. Okay, so where was I at? Okay, so what I'm saying is you can, if you have access to fine motor tools, I have them in this little pencil pouch here. I keep my fine motor tools in here, and you know, kids can use these to also help them when they're practicing any of these fine motor activities with their alphabet. So that I got off of Amazon, and I believe this set was from, it may be a Learning Resources set, or it may be Lakeshore Learning. I don't know, but I just searched on Amazon for fine motor tools, and a set came up, and it comes with all these different tools. It comes with this one, this one. It came with this little dropper, which we don't really use very much, but it came with that. It came with this little pincher, okay, so little tweezers. And I think that's all it came with, these 4. And then I also have another set of little tweezers here. This came with a different activity that I have. And then in here I also keep some of our magnetic fishing rods that came with puzzles, because these are great for fine motor and for any other kind of little magnetic activity that we're doing. So I keep them all in here. And if you have access to some of these, then another thing you can do is you can add on. So besides the kids just placing the blocks on the mat to make each letter, another thing that they can do is you can have the blocks laid out on the table. Okay, and then they have to use one of their fine motor tools to go ahead and pick it up. So if I'm going to need another square, then I'm going to use this fine motor tool here. Let's see if I can do this. And I'm going to pick up my square. This is hard for me to do because I have the camera in front of me. And then I'm going to put it on. So that's just another way. And now remember, fine motor practice is the precursor for handwriting. And so if you want them to be able to use those fine motor skills to write, then you want to practice with their little fingers. And so picking up little objects like this little triangle is a great way, just because they have to use that pincher grasp, right? Especially if you're working with little younger ones like 3-year-olds, you want them to be using that grasp. And then also these fine motor tools where they have to actually put pressure to open it and then pick up, pick up an object. Makes it a little bit trickier. All right, so that is the first set of activities, is doing the fine motor mats that are pattern blocks. You can see now all of the activities I'm going to show you today come in my preschool curriculum. It's called Hands-On to Learn Preschool Curriculum. It's right here. And this curriculum is almost complete. If you already own the curriculum, then you already have all of these mats that I'm showing you, and you can go ahead and download those mats, all of these activities right now. If you don't own the curriculum, I'm going to leave a link below where you can get it. And if you don't want the whole curriculum, but you want some of these mats, I sell them individually as well. So you can just get the pattern block mats if you want, or just one of the other ones that I'm going to show you if you want. Single download, so you don't have to, if you're not willing to spend all the money for the whole curriculum. I definitely also sell them separately if you're interested. And I'll leave links below to that, but let's get on. So the next set of mats I have are called the Fill It In mats. And these mats are filling in capital letters. As you can see here, I'm going to go with letter E today to show you. And again, they're in these plastic sleeves with the little ring. I did that with all of my sets of mats. And one of the things, if you own my curriculum, you know that each week we work on either 2 or 3 different letters. And so even though I have all of my entire alphabet together, when we're working with these mats, because I have the ring here, I can just take out the ones we're working with for the week. So if we're going to do the letter E this week, then I can just go ahead and open this up, take out the letter E, close it back up, and it's no big deal. So for those of you who are wondering, well, why isn't she keeping it with the letter of the week, or we do letters of the week, that is why. I'm just keeping them in all together in the entire alphabet, and then I'm taking them out one at a time. All right, so for this activity, you can use a variety of manipulatives to fill in these mats. And so I'm going to kind of show you some of the ones that I have. So one of the things you can use, which works well with this because they are circles, are buttons. And so here I have buttons. Some of them have I've attached magnets on the back because we like to use them on cookie trays where they stick. But either way, the children take and they fill in their letter using the buttons, just like so. Again, you can also use fine motor tools where they have to grasp it with the fine motor tool. Make it a little bit more difficult for those kids who can do that. And they add it to their mat like so until their letter is completed and filled in. Now on this mat, on these mats, they're filling in the capital letter, but there's also an example of a lowercase letter. And then there's an example of a picture that begins with that letter. So here we have an elephant, E-L-E-P-H-A-N-T. E says in elephant. E says eh. And then we have the example of the lowercase letter, and they're all like that. So here's your capital G that they fill in. Here's your example of your lowercase g, and here's your goat. Here's your I, and they're not all little girls. There's little boys in here too. And you know what? It's because if I flip it around, so here's J, and here's H. So there's little boys and little girls for different ones. Okay, so to show you some other manipulatives you can use, let's put the buttons down. And another idea I have here are some little gems that I got at the dollar store in the planter section. Shh, guys, quiet. Sorry, my kids are being loud. Okay, I got these at the dollar store in the planter section where they have all the plants and things like that. Well, they don't really, I don't know if they have actual plants, but they have things for plants. And anyways, you can use these to fill it up. That's another example. And again, I got a whole bag of these for $1. All right, then another thing we use are the little counting bears. Counting bears are fun because they have to stand them up as they're filling in their mat. Okay, so counting bears. All right, another thing we love to use are pom-poms with magnets attached. And again, if you're using them with the magnets, then you can take just the one sheet, put it on a cookie sheet, or the one mat, put it on a cookie sheet, and then these magnets, I have real thick, strong magnets, and so they tend to stick all the way through the mat onto, so that's kind of a fun way to do it. Then another example, I just recently got these. These are like for math, and they're just counting blocks. And I think they're just bright and colorful. And so again, kids could just use those and fill in their mat like so. Now another thing you could do with this is you could have them count as they're putting them on their mat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so on. All right. So that's another one. Okay, another example that you could use, put this one back, is these snap cubes, or you may see them called unifix cubes. And what you do is they just do them one at a time. And you know, however they want to put them on their mat, but you get the idea. They fill it in that way. What else do we have here that they can use? Oh, something else here. These are, you've probably seen them if you've seen any of my other videos. These are the lids to baby squeezable food jars, or the toddler jars. They make them for toddlers now. And we saved the lids and washed them, and then we use them for all sorts of things. Especially, see here, you can stack them. Isn't that cool? But you wouldn't want to necessarily stack them on this activity. All right, so we use them like that, and you can fill it in. These are great for teaching multiplication, by the way, if you've got older kids. So you would just do like, what's 2 times 3? So you do 2 groups, or 3 groups of 2. So 2 times 3 is 2, 4, 6. All right, that's not for this video, but all right. So we use those, and then the last idea, oh, well actually this isn't the last idea, but another idea is to use the little erasers. This is our set of, whoop, some of them got mixed up. This is our little set of erasers that we have, and let me move this over here. All right, so kids like using these, and they can fill it in that way. I'm gonna lose stuff, sorry. Okay, so anyway, you can use these little erasers to fill it in, like so. However you want to do it. Now, one thing is, if you have erasers that start with the letter, that would be a great way to do it. So where was F? Go to letter F. Now letter F is for fish, you can see that here, and I have some fish, different fish erasers. So that would be perfect to fill in the letter F with, is my little fish erasers. Okay, wouldn't that be cool? So, that's another idea. And then my last idea, which I'm sure you guys have other things at home that you could use, because, I mean, basically it's anything that will fit here. But my other idea to use with these is Play-Doh. Okay, so here I just have a few little things of Play-Doh. And the reason I kind of like this one, Play-Doh is so perfect for fine motor skills. So what they have to do is they have to use their little pincher grasp, and they have to, you know, make it into a little ball first. Roll in a little ball, put it on here, and then after they have put it on their mat, and they get it all filled up, another cool thing you can have them do is to take one finger and just smash each one. So smash, smash, and they'll go through and smash each one, and it just gives their little fingers some more practice with that sensory, with fine motor, sensory, all that kind of good stuff. It's especially great for kids who are maybe special needs or on the spectrum, something like that. So, because they need that sensory play. So, okay, that's that one, and let me show you the next fine motor activity. Okay, friends, our next set of fine motor activity mats are the race car mats. And on each one of these mats, they are going to be doing capital letter, and then on here it gives them an example of the lowercase letter, and again it gives them an example of a picture that begins with that letter. So D is for duck, duck. D is for duck, duck. Now, what do you need to do these mats? Well, you need, you don't need the camera. I keep hitting the camera today. I'm in kind of a different position today because my table's in a different area of the house because of all of our little renovations. Okay, so what I have here is a set of one of my boys' cars. So these are just all his little race cars and things. And basically all you need to do is they need a little race car, and they're going to trace the letter with their race car. So you want them to actually trace it how they would make it. So you would start up at the top and you would say, okay, to make a capital D, right, we go straight down, then we come back to the top and we race around. So they're going to trace it just like you would make it. Now, another thing you can have them do is to line up the cars on their mat and see how many cars it takes to fill in the letter. So I have 1, 2, 3, and then, you know, of course they're going to count them. Oops, they're going to count their cars after they fill it up. And depending on the size of the car, you might have a different amount, but all right, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 cars fill up my mat, or my letter D. And then you can do the same thing with all of the letters and see how many cars fill up each letter. And again, you want them to trace it just like they would if it was the way they were going to write it. So capital B starts up at the top, it goes straight down, and you go back up to the top and you make a loop and another curve. Okay, so they're really called curves. Make a curve, and then you make another curve. So start up the top, go down, back up the top, curve, and curve. Okay, so that is how you do these. And let me show you the next set of activity mats. Okay, our next set of activity mats are to be used with craft sticks. So I have just a whole bag here of colorful craft sticks. And basically what they're going to be doing is they're going to be making the capital letter, and they can also make the object if you have enough craft sticks and you want them to make the object that goes with it. They can do that as well. So let's just flip over. I'm just going to pick one, and we'll do the letter M. And basically what they're going to do is they're going to take the craft sticks and they're going to make the letter M. You can have them make it right here on the mat if you want, or you can have them make it off to the side if you want. Now this one, I'm going to do this and then I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to use another one to kind of make it all the way. All right, so now if I did it off to the side, I probably wouldn't have to do that. So let me show you that. So if I did off to the side, I can kind of replicate it without having to actually, whoop. All right, so the basic point is to get across the fact that they're going to be using the different strokes. So for M, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 different strokes. So that's what you want to get across to them, is that there's 4 strokes. So if you're looking at this, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 strokes. And then the other thing they can do is they can make the picture. There's a picture that goes with each one of these that begins with the letter. And so they can go ahead for this one and use their little sticks and fill in the mitten. Mitten is for M. M says mitten. And again, I'm just using the same color. You wouldn't have to necessarily use the same color, but you get the idea. So they would fill in all of the sticks to make the mitten. M is for mitten. And of course I have the entire alphabet here with just different pictures and different ones that they can make with their craft sticks. So it's kind of fun. Okay friends, the next set of mats are the snap cube mats. And so the kids are going to use snap cubes to build the letter. Here I have the letter C. They can either do it right on top of it, or they can do it off to the side. It makes it a little bit trickier to do it off to the side. So if you have a student that needs to make it completely right on top of the letter, that's fine too. I'm going to use different colors here. All right, so basically they have to use their pincher grasp and their fine motor, obviously, to make the letter. So here I am making my letter. So here's what it looks like when it's completely done. I like this activity because they really have to use their visual cues here to build it the exact same way to make it fit. Again, if you want to make it a little bit trickier, have them do it off to the side on this part of the mats, and then just use this as their template. So there you go, and this one's a lot of fun as well. I like how these cubes snap together, and they're not super easy, so that they actually have to use a little bit of pressure to push them in together. Okay, we're getting to the end here. There's just one more set after this that I'd like to show you. So this set is using Legos and Lego DUPLOs. Now, I don't necessarily have enough Legos with the right colors to do each of the pictures, but I do have Lego DUPLOs. So what I'm going to have my students do is they're just going to build the letter. I do have a picture here that can be built if you have the Legos to build it. But I think it's just a good example to show them what it would look like built. But for me, I'm focusing on building the actual letter. And then, so they're going to build the capital letter, and then of course it shows them a lowercase letter as well that they can see for an example. Okay, and then of course there's a picture for most of them. Now, if I get over here to the letter K, I did not have a picture for the letter K that was in a Lego shape. So basically all I did is I made the letter K into capital and lowercase. So there's a few letters like that, but for the most part, they all have a picture to go with them that the kids can build. Q also didn't have one, so Q is upper and lowercase. But otherwise, most of them, like here's letter R, had the picture to go with. And that one's cute, it's a raccoon for them to build. Now, again, I'm just focusing on building the letter and using the Lego DUPLOs. So that's all I would provide my students. And I'm going to just show you here with the letter C. So basically, you're going to use your blocks and the kids are going to just place them on the mat somehow. Let's see, let's use this one. And let's use this one. And it doesn't have to be exact, so even though this one has 6 dots, I'm going to use 2 of my little ones to fill it in. Alright, so it doesn't have to be exact, but at least I made the letter, and that's what I would have the students do. I would have them make the letter, And then you can talk about how it's over, down, over. So capital C goes around and over. Makes a little curve. Okay? So, and then of course there's a picture there. So C is for corn. Corn. Okay, we're on our last set of mats, and this set is building the letters with Play-Doh. Now, I made these mats so that you can cut them apart and laminate them if you want to have the capitals separate from the lowercase, or you can keep them like this, like I have here, and have the capitals and the lowercase together, because they're going to build, they can build either letter that they want to build. So, basically, looking at this mat, I'm going to take a little bit of Play-Doh and see if I've got enough in here to do this. And what I always have the kids do, get the Play-Doh out, is I have them take a little bit and then they have to roll it into like a snake. So you kind of, as you can see what I'm doing over here, I'm kind of rolling it into a snake with my fingers. So you kind of have to teach the kids to do this, because then you can use that to mold it into the shape that you want on your mat. So, and basically that's what they're going to do. They're going to use their dough and they're going to make each of the letters. And then the other thing you can do to extend this activity is that after they've made their letters with the dough, or in fact to extend any of these activities that I showed you today, is you can, if you have a salt or a sandbox, you can have them use a pencil and then practice making the letter in a salt or sandbox. That way they're feeling the strokes and they're remembering which way to do it. Now on these particular mats, it actually shows them, this is number 1, number 2, you would go around. So they would build this part first and then they would build this part. And that's what I'm trying to do here, is I built this and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and that is how you would make a capital E. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so there you go, guys. Those are the activities I have for hands-on practicing our fine motor and our letters with the Hands-On to Learn preschool curriculum. I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know your comments below. Again, links to everything will be in the description box. Thanks for watching. Bye.